Oh, are you looking for me? You say you want to play a quirky deck that beats blue hybrid? Well, I do have one, but you must first learn the ways of red.
Yo, what's going on, guys? It is your boy TPG, aka True Pain Gaming, aka Y McDonald. So today I have a super cool deck for you today. It is a red hybrid deck specifically made to beat blue hybrid. So if you are looking for a deck still to take to Ultimate Cup, this is a very good contender. I went 4-1 last night, got 5th place at the Gaia Force Gaming tournament. It had 45 people in it. My only loss was actually to the blue hybrid that got second. And that one was a crazy game. I had him in checkmate game 1 and 2. And both games he had exactly what he needed to get out of the situation. Game 1, that was a Tommy double spark and a Korikaku. And he had it. And then game 2, I believe it was he needed a Kendo plus a Tommy. And I was like, he probably doesn't have Kendo. It's a one of in most of these builds. And then he had it, and I was like, okay, cool. So we'll go. You got it. But the rest of the games I played, the rest of the blue hybrids I played against another blue hybrid, a Cherubi, a Nightmon deck, like a Lord Nightmon deck. Um, and I played against red hybrid Ancient Gray, and it was 2-0. All of those except the Ancient Gray one. That was the final match. It was 2-1. So yeah, that being said, guys, let's hop into the deck profile. So our eggs are, at least that's what I would say, if this many of you were not subbed. Look at that percentage. That is insane, guys. Let's please get that down. We are also closing into 2K subs. We're going to have a really crazy surprise when we do hit 2K subs. It's going to be a really fun time. So please, let's get these numbers down. Thank you, and back to the video. So for our eggs, we play 5 eggs. I play 1 Capurimon and 4 Demi-Marimon. So, they function the same. It's just Capurimon is basically a 5th Demi-Marimon late game, if your games go late game. If they're still early game, Demi-Marimon is just better. But the 5th egg being the Capurimon is the one you want. And you could just play 4 eggs. I play 5 just because against like yellow hybrid, I didn't play against yellow hybrid at all. I do think it'd be a quick game as well, but against it, I didn't want to not have the 5th egg. For our options, we play 4 Atomic Inferno, 2 Atomic Blaster, and then 2 of the absolute Giga Spice Rowdy Rocker. So shout out to Hoang Zero and Diego, aka Battle. They basically, I think Huang made this list and then gave it to Diego, and then Diego made some changes and gave it to me. Diego got 4th at Nationals, so he's not going to be playing for the upcoming seasons, and so he's really trying to get me my national invite this year. And he said, look, you're going to be playing red. It's Monkey Brain. And then Huang was playing this card, and this card is so strong. Against blue, having that one extra source sometimes is enough. But on top of that, when you put some of your rookies under, we can get a free Takuya off this Flamemon. We can get Piercing off this Flamemon. It becomes very good. And then it's essentially also just Pot of Greed. Also, this deck manipulates the lost art of passing your opponent at 1 and going first. I say the lost art because in this current format we're in, going second is just better. However, this deck, I went first most of the day, and if you go first, you just blow your opponent out of the water. Because instead of the modern format where you're going to Digivolve to a rookie, play a Tamer, and play a Boko if you go second, because your opponent's probably going to have to Digivolve, play a Boko, or play a Tamer to give you 3 or 4. This deck, when you pass your opponent at 1, it's crippling when they go first. They basically wasted their turn. And it's so good. You basically get 2 turns in a row. It's so good. And Rowdy Rocker, again, is just such a good card. Atomic Inferno, I don't think I really need to explain. I do need to explain some of the combos later. Atomic Blaster, this card is literally, if for some reason you brick and you're losing too hard, this card can just bring you back the game by just board wiping your opponent and then basically both starting over. For the Tamers, I play 4 Takuya and 3 Tai. So, this is the golden ratio. Again, I wish Hero was legal. I have my Fest Heroes, and I'd probably play that over this because he doesn't really offer that much in the deck. In very niche situations, Tai comes up, but most of the time it's just because he sets you to 3. Again, I wouldn't play Marcus here because he's the only legal one right now that sets you to 3 other than Tai, and Marcus just does absolutely nothing for the deck, but at least Tai can do things now and then. As for Takuya, this card's insane. The Emperor Greymon for game is really funny, and then also the Inheritable is very important. The Inheritable is your turn. This Digimon gets plus 2,000. Period. While this Digimon is 10k or more, it gains security attack plus 1. Note 2 things. First of all, it is 2 separate effects due to the period. So it gets 2k. And then after the 2k's application, if it is 10k or more, you get sec plus 1. The second thing I want you to take notice of is it doesn't require a hybrid. It is just this Digimon. So that'll come into play, as you'll see in a second here. So, for our Takuya for game, we played 2 Emperors. So this actually came up when a guy did block me, and I went to 5 memory, and then I had like lethal 6 times over. It was really good. But yeah, he's mostly just here for a blitz for game, and it's essentially another hybrid for game. But you don't need the memory because you just blitz them. 3 Aldemon. So Aldemon is very good. It's a delicate plan in source. And then also when Digivolving, it gets plus 4k for the turn. So it can swing over your opponent's suspended Digimon, or you can swing for very, very big as security. Okay, so this is the card that I want to talk about. This card is really insane. Nobody knows what it does, and it will just win you games. It is for Assuramon. So, Assuramon is when Digivolving Blitz on a level 5. He's also an 8k base. So why this is important, say you're at 3 memory. Say this is all you have on board, okay? And this comes up a lot, okay? So you Digivolve into either a Gunimon or a Burning on top of this Takuya here. So now you have a 7k Gunimon. Okay, so now you're at 1 probably. Say you have an Atomic Inferno in hand. Let's go ahead and drop the Inferno. He is now a 10k with sec plus 1, and then if they block, you gain 3 memory. Cool. Your opponent has a memory tamer, you're at 0. Let's not waste it. Let's go Shuramon. As you'll say, okay, you're at 3, and then he blitzes. So he blitzes. He is 10k because of the Takuya, plus 3k off the Inferno. So he's 13k, sec plus 1, 2, and then his base of 1. So he's at 3 checks, all off of 3 memory with a combo that people don't really know or expect to play around. Honestly, the thing is, game 1, most of the time in game 1, this didn't come up. I purposely did not try and use a Shuramon a few times in game 1 in the later rounds, because the minute they see a Shuramon, your opponent knows, okay, he's not playing like X card, and your opponent kind of knows what you're going for when you Shuramon. So game 1, I really actively tried to avoid my opponent seeing a Shuramon, and I would just swing as much as possible with my other guys. Like, if I had to win, I would do it, but if I didn't, I wouldn't. And then game 2, you just you go first, you Digivolve and Raising whatever, and then you just go Shuramon, ding them, and then they don't know what to do. This card is very good. On to our level 4s. 4 Dark Tyrannomon, 2 Monochromon. The 1 cost Evo in this deck is so strong. Like I said, you want to go first a lot of the time in most games. Digivolve into a rookie, and then Digivolve into one of these guys to pass your opponent to 1. And now they don't really know what to do. If you go second, however, it opens a lot more plays with these guys. Because what you can do is essentially the same thing with Atomic Inferno. You Digivolve to Raising, and then you drop a Tamer or a Searcher or something to put your opponent back to 3. Or if they're not out of memory, just choke them somehow. And then next turn, you're going to raise your rookie hybrid, Atomic Inferno it as much as you can, and then go into like Dark Tyranno, or if you have to, Monocro, to choke your opponent to 1. And then you just swing with these guys, and they're really big for 1 cost Evos. It is really, really good. I promise you. These cards are like a really good aggression card, and in this format, nobody. Like I said, if you go first and you Digivolve to this guy, you basically just skipped your opponent's turn. It's very strong. 4 Agunimon and 4 Burning Gray. These are level 4 hybrids. Very good cards. Obviously, I'm sure most of you know what Agunimon is. Burning Gray has like a million applications. This guy is like a multi-tool. It's incredible. I love him. For our rookies, we literally just play 4 of each Flamemon. So, this Flamemon searches for 1 hybrid, Susanomon, or Takuya out of the top 4. Its inheritable is when it dies, play a Takuya for free. So if I have Takuya in hand, I kind of like to go him on top of the blocker, block with it, get your Takuya. It's pretty good. This one gives piercing. This is like your main Rowdy Rocker target. This one's your secondary Rowdy Rocker target. Because you put it under, like a Takuya or something, and now like your Burning Greymon's a 7k, no, an 8k with piercing and 2 checks. It's very good. And then for this Flamemon, again, we don't play Boko, the Boko package, because it just lowers our consistency. So this guy's essentially Bokomon, just minus 2 cards, which doesn't matter because most of our deck is searchable off of him anyways. So that is the deck, guys. Like I said, this deck absolutely massacres Blue Hybrid, and because of its aggression, can just beat a lot of this format with how slow this format is. And then a lot of people don't really know how to play around it either because every other deck they're playing against this format takes so much setup, whereas this one is like turn 1, you're putting your opponent into a very close to lethal situation for them, where it's like turn 1, you're gonna, or I guess turn 2, because turn 1 you're probably gonna develop to Dark Tyrant or whatever. So your turn 2, you're gonna put your opponent into a very close to lethal situation for them, and it doesn't really matter how many resources you give them because you're choking them. There's and because of how little resources they've had time to dig for. What you'll notice with these hybrid decks is a trend. They all take forever to set up, and once they do, there's nothing for you to really do about it. So the idea of this deck is you just beat them before they can set up, and they don't really know what to do when they aren't given 3 memory, and when they're not given enough to choke you. So if you're thinking of a deck to take to Evo Cup or Ultimate Cup, I would highly recommend you test this deck out. And again, if this video helped you in any ways, please subscribe. Want to get those numbers up. Don't forget to like, share this video, comment. Let me know what you think of this deck. I think it's incredible. And that being said, I will see you guys next time. Peace.